Okay, so we'll discuss the rest of the portions of this program management. See. Okay, the slide is visible. Anybody else can please respond? This slide is visible.
No, sir.
Lal Singh.
Hello.
Lal
Yes, sir.
Singh.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now,
Visible.
now it is visible.
Visible. Okay. So now let's discuss today's contents. I think it is program management. Today we'll discuss the program management and the benefits management. First we'll go to program management. Let's see what is a program, and then we'll see what do you mean by program management. You know that the in any organization, maybe software development organization or any government organization or private organization, they are dealing with many projects, not only one project. You take TCS, Infosys, or Satyam, whatever they may be, they are dealing with a large number of projects. Out of these projects, every project is associated with some amount of risk. The risk may vary from project to project. As I have told in the last class, some of the projects might contain heavy risk, some of the projects might contain low risk. It might also happen that the risk might be very significant, a huge amount of risk, but the probability of occurring those risks may be less. Another case may be like that the consequence of the risk is very less, but its probability is very frequent to occur. So either of the cases are possible. So what I want to say that there will be an element of risk always with any single project. And a company, an organization deals with many number of projects. In some projects, the risks are less, the consequence is less, but probability may be high. In the other projects, in some of the other projects, okay, in some what here other projects, the amount of risk or the consequence of risk can be what high and probability is less. In other case, the consequence of the risk is less, but the probability is high. So the two cases we have to consider. Consequence is high, probability is less, and consequence is less and probability is high. So that's why what the program, the organization as a whole should do. Hence, the organization, they should take a broad view of all its projects. They should not take the decision by taking only one single project where there's heavy risk, so heavy loss may be there, or low risk, no very few loss, also no profit like that. So they should not consider only a single project for taking an decision. The organization should take a broad overview of all its projects to ensure that while some projects may disappoint, okay, some projects may disappoint because those projects, they are heavy risk, they are heavily risk, they are riskier than other projects. They may disappoint you, they may give less profit, they may give more loss, but the organizational developments overall will generate substantial benefits. But when you will take the overall all the projects, 2-3 might be disappointing you, but you cannot leave them. But when you consider the overall view, then say there are 10 projects right now running, 1 or 2 are disappointing, there is more risk, but it is balanced by the other projects. So you have to consider the overall view of all the projects to take a decision. So hence Hence, the organization should take a broad view of all its projects to ensure that while some projects may disappoint, the organizational developments overall the organizational developments overall will generate some substantial benefit. When you will consider all the projects in total, then definitely you may get some substantial benefit. So what is the need? So there's a need of proper program management, not just managing one single project. How you can manage a number of projects that an organization is handling. So there's a need of proper program management. So before going to discuss about program management, let's see what is a program. In my first class, I had told you what is a project, but now I am saying a program. So what is a program? How the program and the projects, they are different. The definition of a program is like this. A program means it is a group of projects. Previously, we have discussed single projects, but when similar types of projects, they are grouped, we call them as a program. So a program is a group of projects. Those are managed in a coordinated way. You should manage all those similar projects in a coordinated way. Why? To gain more benefits. Otherwise, that won't be possible where the projects to be managed independently. If you will manage the projects individually, then what will happen? This much benefit you may not get, because I have already told you some of the projects, they will be risky. You will get less. You will get less profit. You will get more loss there. That can be compensated by some other projects by the organization, taken up by the organization. So that's why you should not consider individual projects, single projects. Rather, you should consider all the projects, a group of similar projects, so that the losses occurred in some of the projects may be compensated by the other beneficial projects. So we should consider them, we should manage them properly, we should manage the projects properly in a coordinated way, so that we will gain maximum benefits, which won't be possible where the projects should be managed independently, if the projects would have been managed independently. So that's why this is the concept of project. That means a group of projects, and why program management is required, because to gain more profits, more benefits, which may not be obtained if the projects would have been managed independently. That's why program management is required. So I am repeating again that a program is a group of projects. Those are managed in a coordinated way. For what? To gain more benefits that won't be otherwise possible where the projects to be managed independently, if the projects would have been managed independently. This statement was given by DC Funds. So this is how, what is the definition of program and why program management is required. Now we'll go to what the different programs, but before that, it's coming later on. Okay, so I have told already what is a project, what is a program. Now let's see what are the different types of programs those may run in an organization. So the programs can be divided into 5 major categories. One is strategic program, business cycle program, infrastructure program, R&D or research and development program, innovative partnership or collaborative program. Okay, so these are the 5 different types of programs. Let's first go to the first one, strategic program. So as its name suggests, strategic programs, these are the projects which are implementing a single strategy. So if you are implementing a single strategy, only one strategy, then you will call it as strategic program. Okay, you will only implement a single strategy, not more than one strategy. So the programs or the projects, you may take 3-4 projects or 8 to 9 projects or 9 to 10 projects, whatever that may be. So the collection of projects which are implementing a single strategy is called as, they are called as strategic programs. All right. So strategic programs means the projects which are implementing a single strategy. Next is the business cycle programs. These are also the set of projects that an organization undertake within a planning cycle. You are making only one planning cycle, and within that planning cycle, what you have to do? You know, every organization, whatever might be that organization, R&D organization, building construction organization, shipping organization, or transport organization, whatever that, almost every organization, they keep a budget for the ICT purpose, isn't it? For every year, they say they put 2 crores on the ICT. So now, but that organization is dealing with several projects. So now the projects, they have to, for each project requires some amount of budget for the ICT portion, for the ICT portion. Some server is required, some communication, what network equipment is required, some workstations are required, like that. So now these projects, they have to what manage their ICT expenses based on this budget, because you know, at the end of every financial year, at the month of April, every department makes a budget, every organization makes a budget. Out of that, maybe some portion they reserve for ICT, like in NIT, some portion is reserved for our computer center. NIT having so many departments, all departments use computer center facilities. So now, so for that some budget is required. In our case, we are putting 5 to 7 crores budget per year. All other departments, all other projects, they will work under that, like library requires some ICT. Every department requires some ICT budget. So they have to work, or they have to run within that fixed budget within a given time period, like each financial year, April to March. So the projects, the set of projects that an organization undertakes within a planning cycle. Here planning cycle means they have made the budget for ICT this much, for Solari this much, for other overhead expenses like this. They have made a plan for a particular financial year. So now the projects which are to be implemented within a given ICT budget, that you have already fixed at the time of what your budget allocation. So the projects, the set of projects, they are to be implemented within a given ICT budget within a particular fixed period. For example, within a financial year. Then all those projects, we say that business cycle programs, because they share the some cost meant for a particular cycle, for a particular period. So business cycle program means the projects that an organization undertakes within a planning cycle. And example, we can say that any organization you see, they are having a what some portion is reserved for the ICT budget, and maybe that is for 1 year. So all the projects that will share this ICT budget within this ICT budget, within that particular fixed period, maybe the financial year, we call them as business cycle programs. Next is infrastructure programs. So projects performing the activities and identifying the common infrastructure and its implementation and maintenance. Let's see what is saying. The projects performing the activities of identifying the common infrastructure and its implementation and maintenance, they are calling infrastructure programs. Let's take a small example. Any organization you go, they are involving with different types of projects, and for developing those projects, they may require a common database. I am giving a simple example. You take up your NIT. They are having several projects. One is this payroll package for the faculties. Another is the house allotment, okay, quarter allotment or house allotment. What another project? Another is the dispensary. Another is the R&D projects, and so on. But one thing it is, they require the employee database. So only the employee database is developed only once, but that can be used for different projects such as Solari project and our dispensary project, our R&D projects, faculty self-appraisal, that software. So many other projects or softwares, they are using the same database, the faculty database. So here the infrastructure is the faculty database that can be used by many of the projects. So these projects, we call them as infrastructure programs. These projects, these similar projects, they constitute a program known as infrastructure program, because here our objective is to identify what is the common infrastructure, do these projects, do this software they need, and here the common infrastructure they need is the faculty. Then whole of faculty database, which is common for all projects, and then once develop how to maintain that database. Government is having, say, one department, road and construction. Another is this bridges. Another is some other some refugees they want to bring. Another is what this education. For everything else they require some ICT. So you go to secretariat, they are having a ICT for all those departments. So ICT is common for all. So they have to develop this ICT, which may require several networking equipments, workstations, servers, how to connect them, etc. And this is required for all the departments of the government, for all the departments of the secretariat. So these projects, which are performing the activities of identifying some common infrastructure across all the projects and implementation and maintenance of its implementation maintenance, that means implementation and maintenance of that common infrastructure, we call those projects as infrastructure programs. Okay, so this is something about the infrastructure programs. Next is R&D programs, very easy. So the projects which are involved in developing new innovative products based on some research. So based on some research work, you are developing a new innovative product. You think of the patents, how they are coming out of this R&D. You develop, you do some extensive research, then come out some of the patent that you can file for the patent. The result can be filed as patent. That is called as R&D development program. You see, suppose you know MTech students, dual degree MTech students, last year you will do a project. That is R&D project. So these R&D projects can be just maybe divided into two major types. Just this doing some experimental work and some publishing papers. Another is to make a patent out of your research work, what patent you are developing. So here you see some of our image processing students, they have developed a tool for this fingerprint recognition. Some of them have developed a tool for this face recognition. Some of the students have developed some tool for ear recognition. Some of the persons they have developed a robot kind of thing. So these are all how they are developed. So these projects, they are using their innovative ideas to develop some products. So those are out of their R&D, their R&D experience, their R&D experimentation. So R&D project programs means the projects which are involved in developing some new innovative products based on that some research. So that are R&D development programs. So next year you will be assigned about these R&D development programs or R&D development projects. So projects which are involved in developing new innovative products based on some research. You will see nowadays many scientists, they are working on developing the solution for corona. So if you are able to develop a Covaxin, the scientists, they are developing the Covaxin. So that is what? That is due to their R&D work. So that project or similar type, if an organization, a group of scientists, they are working on development of different solutions for corona. So that is a very good example of R&D development, maybe the example of developing Covaxin. Then innovative partnership programs. Here the projects are based on collaboration by different organizations. You know, nowadays government is giving much more benefit for collaborative research programs. So NIT Rourkela is good in image processing, but for image processing you require some hardwares, because your software will be embedded in some camera or in some fingerprint machine or somewhere else. Where you will get that? So you have to suppose tie up with any hardware organization, okay, like NVIDIA also. So you have to find out where you can collaborate. So like this, similarly research, I am doing in software engineering. Some students are doing research, and I want to use machine learning techniques for this software testing or reliability. So my students can collaborate with other persons in our department, other professors, those who are working in machine learning, or with some IIT professor who is working in machine learning. So I can combine, I can collaborate my research work of software engineering or software testing or software reliability with machine learning, so that we will get some desirable output. So innovative partnership program means the set of projects which are based on collaboration by different organizations. Here the different organizations might be what? Academic organizations, industrial organizations, or both. One academic organization is wanting to make collaborative research with a industrial organization. So then also that is possible. So this is something known as innovative partnership programs. Okay. So now I have already told you what is a project in my first class. Right now I have told what is a program. Similarly, we have known the project managers who handles a particular project, whereas program manager means who handles a group of projects. So after knowing the difference between project and program, now let's try to find out what is the difference between project manager and program manager. What should the characteristics? I have already told you the characteristics of project manager. Now let's see the characteristics of program manager. How do the characteristics of program manager differ from that of the project manager? So program manager, normally he deals with many simultaneous projects, but project manager, as I have already told you, at a particular point of time, he deals with only one project. Okay. So project manager deals with one project at a time, whereas program manager deals with many simultaneous projects, of course, similar types of projects. The project manager, normally, he has impersonal relationship with resources. Okay, the project manager has impersonal relationship with resources, but the program manager has personal relationship with the skilled resources. He must know which resources can be used for which purposes, accordingly when, because he is handling many projects and all the projects require some resources, and the resources are finite in number, they are limited. So if he knows the characteristics of the different equipments, etc., or the nature of the different programmers or the human beings, then accordingly he can allocate the different resources to the different programs, different projects effectively, efficiently. Otherwise he cannot allocate the resources properly to the different projects. So in case of project manager, his objective is how to minimize the demand for the resources. His objective is how a particular project, it can need less number of resources. Objective is minimization of demand for the resources. But the program manager, his objective is optimization of the resource use, how the resources can be effectively used. His objective is optimization of resource use. In case of project manager, he views the projects as unique. Okay, the projects are unique. The projects tend to be seen as unique. But the program manager, as I have already told you, he deals with a set of similar projects. So here the projects tend to be seen as similar. The program manager views the different projects as of similar type. Okay, in the project manager, in case of project manager, the projects tend to be seen as unique. But in case of program manager, the projects tend to be seen as similar. The projects are of similar time. That's what the program manager can view. So these are some of the differences between program manager versus program manager. So we have seen the differences between project and program. We have also seen the difference between project manager and the program manager. So I have already told you 5 types of what programs are there. We'll discuss only one program management. We are running out of time. So out of that, I will take up only the most important program, that is the strategic program. It is a different form of program management where the portfolio of projects all contribute to a common objective. So portfolio management we have discussed in the last class. So first or second class we have discussed portfolio management. So the strategic program management, it is a different form of the program management where the portfolio of all the projects, they all contribute to a common objective. Because I have already told you that strategic program management means the set of projects which are implementing what? A single strategy. They implement a single strategy. They target towards a common objective, a single objective. So it is a different form of program management where the portfolio of all the projects, they all contribute to a common objective. Okay, the portfolio of the projects, they all contribute to a common objective, not a single project, but of the portfolio of the projects considered, they all contribute to a common objective. So the strategic program management is based on the concept of OGC. OGC stands for Office of Government Commerce, which is a UK government agency. So the strategic program is based on the OGC approach. Now let us quickly discuss how to create a program based on OGC. So creating a program. So first we are discussing what? This creating a program based on what? Based on the approach, OGC approach. So now let's discuss creating a program based on the OGC approach. Here the initial planning document is called as the program mandate. Okay. While creating a program, we have to create the initial planning document, which is known as program mandate. This program mandate describes the following things. What does it describe? It describes the new services or capabilities that the program should deliver. Okay. The program mandate will describe that. What are the new services or the new capabilities that the program should deliver? Then it must also describe how an organization will be improved, what steps, what activities should perform so that an organization can be improved. It also describes fit with the existing organization goals. So what are the plans we are making? How do they fit to the existing organization goals? We are having some organization goals. Every organization has some goals. So how the initial planning, it can fit with the existing organizational goals. So normally a person called as a program director, he should be appointed to provide the initial leadership for the program. Okay. So a person, his designation may be a program director. He should be appointed to provide the initial leadership for the program. So we have seen the first document, the initial planning document is called program mandate. Now let's see what are the next document, what are the other documents or other reports we should use during program management. The next stages are the documents are follows: the program brief, the vision statement, and the blueprint. The program brief is equivalent of a feasibility study. I have already discussed about feasibility study earlier, or the business case. So program brief is almost equivalent of a business feasibility study or business report. This we have already discussed earlier. In the program brief, we emphasize on the different costs and the benefits, just like in feasibility study report or the business case. So in the program brief emphasizes on the different costs and the benefits. Then vision statement. You know, every statement, every organization has two important things: vision and mission. While you enter in our department, you see on our right side of the right side wall of the department, the vision and the mission of our department is written. Similarly, while you enter into the institute, you will see near the gate the vision and mission of the institute written. So every institute, every department, every organization must have a specific vision and mission. The vision statement, it explains the new capability that the organization will have. Okay, the organization should have what new capabilities, that must be mentioned in the vision statement. Then the blueprint, it explains the changes to be made to obtain the new capability. So in order to obtain this new capabilities, what changes have to be made to the existing plans or so. So you know, every organization also have a blueprint or master print. So the blueprint, it explains the changes which have to be made to obtain the new capabilities which are mentioned in the vision statement. So these are the documents starting from program mandate, program brief, vision statement, and blueprint. So these documents are required in this program management. Then we'll see some of the particular aids to program management, some of the tools they can be used for program management. There may be some physical or technical dependencies between projects. Okay, there may be some physical and some technical dependencies between different projects. That means project B, suppose there are two projects, project A and B. Project B cannot start unless project A produces some outputs. Okay. Like you see, we are having two projects. One is your students examination, another is student project allotment. In our institute, we are following an algorithm. I had developed that algorithm 7-8 years back for allocating the final students to the different teachers for the developing the projects. So here this project, but it has one input required. What is the input? Your for MTech students, the first semester mark, and the BTech students, the 7th semester mark grade, and dual degree might be the 8th semester mark or so. So now this project allotment, student project allotment, this project is dependent on what? On the examination system, because once you get the grade, then only the projects can be assigned depending upon your grade and your choice. So there is a dependence between this the software that is used for student project allotment and this examination examination project. So the student allotment project depends upon the examination project. So there may be similar types of physical and technical dependencies between different projects. So then how to represent these technical dependencies? If you write theory wise and there are 100 modules, there will be what unnecessarily 10-20 pages you have to write for this dependency. It will be better if this dependency can be drawn as a diagram. It's possible. This diagram is known as dependency diagram. So this physical so these physical and technical dependencies of the projects or between the projects can be represented using a diagram called a dependency diagram. So this depending diagram is very much similar to activity network. Activity network we have not actually studied. After 2-3 or after few classes we'll go to the activity network. Those who have studied CPM and POT, they might have known that CPM and POT, they are based on some activity network. So here also these dependency diagrams, these are similar to activity networks. After some classes we'll discuss activity networks. Now let's see first the dependency diagrams. This is an example of a dependency diagram where the boxes represent the different projects and the edges they represent the dependencies. Okay. So the boxes, they represent the projects, and the arrows, the edges, they represent the dependencies among them. For example, in a project, for example, in an organization, these are the different projects like system study or system design, build common system, relocate the offices, training, data migration. Another project is implement corporate interface. Another is corporate image design, etc. You can see that building a common system is dependent on what? The system study or design. Unless you have studied the system, unless you have designed the system, you cannot build a common system. So what is the dependency? In the back direction. Project C, that is building common system, is dependent on project A, that is system study design. That's why there is an arrow from A to C. Similarly, relocate offices. This is dependent on the system study or design. First you design the system, then only you plan to relocate the offices. Without proper studying or proper designing, you cannot relocate the offices. Similarly, other three projects are there, like implement corporate interface, data migration, training, etc. These all can be started only when you are building a common system. If you don't have a common system, if you have not built a common system, then you cannot go for implementing the corporate office or data migration or training. Similarly, implement corporate interface, it depends upon the corporate image design. First you design the corporate image. After designing the corporate image, okay. So first you corporate image design. So first you design the corporate image, then only you can implement the corporate interface. So in this you have seen how different projects are related to one another. This diagram shows the dependency among different, or the relationship or the dependencies among the different modules or the different projects. So this is an example of a dependency diagram. We have seen successfully project program management. Now let's quickly look at the benefits management. I have already told you there are different costs are there. There are different benefits also present. So now let's see about the benefits management. So providing an organization with a capability does not guarantee that this will provide benefits emphasized. Just, okay, what you are saying, you are providing an organization with a capability. You are saying that, okay, this organization is capable of doing this thing. You are providing some capability to an organization. It doesn't give guarantee that this organization or this action will provide benefits emphasized. There is a need for benefits management. We have to properly manage the different activities. We have to properly manage the benefits. There is a need for benefits management. So this has to be outside the project. Project will have been completed. Even if the project has been completed, we have to go for this benefits management. Therefore, the benefits management is done at the program level, not at the project level. Because I have already told you, some of the projects are up, they are highly beneficial, but some of the projects are very less beneficial. They do not give any profit. They do not give any benefit. They have to be compensated. So the program management is performed at the program level, or the benefit management is performed at the program level. It's rather than at the project level. So program management, so benefits management is performed at the program level, not at the project level. Okay. So you can see a small diagram is given, like developers normally they build the application, the software application. Users normally they will use. So developers will build the application, whereas users will use the application. And the application that you have developed, what is the objective? To deliver some benefits. For whom? To the organization. Okay. The application that you are developing, the objective is to deliver some benefits. For whom? For the organization. So objective is how to get maximum benefit. We have to know, so the benefits management. So in order to know how we can get maximum benefit, we should know about the benefits management. Okay. Let's see. So benefits management, it encompasses the identification, optimization, and tracking of the expected benefits from a business change in order to ensure that they are actually achieved. Okay. So benefits management, what does it do? It encompasses the identification, the optimization, and the tracking of what? Tracking of the expected benefits from where? From a business change. For what? In order to ensure that they are actually achieved. Whatever you have planned to get these benefits, you have properly identified them, optimized them, and tracked them. You are able to get the benefits that you have planned. You are able to get the expected benefits from a business change. Previously it was manually. Now you have completely automated it. So you have already prepared a plan. You have expected what could be the benefits. And after implementation of this automated system, by replacing the manual system, you are getting the benefits what you have expected earlier. So this can be done using benefits management. So it encompasses the identification, optimization, and tracking of the expected benefits from a business change in order to ensure that they are actually achieved. So how you can carry out benefits management? In order to carry out the benefit management, you must do the following things. What? First, to define what are your expected benefits. I have already told you different types of benefits like tangible, intangible, direct, indirect, fixed, and variable. So you define the expected benefits. Try to. Some of the benefits may not be possible to define, like user satisfaction, etc., or corporate image, loss in corporate image, etc., or degradation of corporate image. So, but try to define the expected benefits. So now we are discussing how to carry out the benefits management. First, we have to define the expected benefits. Then we have to analyze the balance between the cost and benefits. Okay. Then we have to analyze the balance, the trade-off between the cost and benefits, whether costs are more or benefits are more, or why there is a lag like this. Some of the projects may show greater benefits over the cost. Some of the projects may show greater cost over the benefits. So try to balance them, analyze the balance between cost and benefits. Then plan how benefits will be achieved. You have to make initially a plan how the benefits can be achieved. Allocate responsibilities for their achievement. Just planning is not sufficient. You have to earmark Who is responsible for which achievement? Assign different persons to different these benefits. So plan how benefits will be achieved. Then allocate responsibility for their achievement. Every person should be given some responsibility for their achievement. Like this here, the teachers are given some assignment. Per year you have to produce 2 journal papers, 5 conference papers, 1 book chapter, like this. Non-teaching staffs are given assignments. You have to complete, you have to learn these many experiments, you have to demonstrate these many experiments in this semester, like that. So allocate responsibilities for their achievement. Then just allocating responsibility is not sufficient. You have to monitor the achievement of the benefits periodically, regularly. Every month you try to see. Suppose you have given say 10 projects to be demonstrated by our teaching assistant or technical assistant, or say 12. So every month I should do, because at the end of the year if you will see he has done only 6 experiments, then where do I stand? So, but if I can monitor at the end of every month whether first experiment is over, yes, over. Not over, take another 7 days complete, and by the end of second month you must have to complete it to experiments. In that way you can monitor, and the benefits what you have targeted you can get. Otherwise at the end you will see 50% work will not be there, your benefits you cannot get the benefits that you have targeted. So monitor the achievements of benefits. So you have to monitor how these benefits can be achieved. You have to monitor the responsibility. You have to monitor the activities, the actions of the different persons, employees, or different entities. Okay, this is about the benefits management. Let's quickly have this different types of benefits. These are the different types of benefits, like mandatory requirement or mandatory compliance, because these benefits are mandatory requirement of compliance. Some things which are at all necessary. Okay. Then improved quality of service. Another thing, you are providing some service, how that service, that quality of the service can be improved. Increase productivity. Now per day you are producing 100 items, 100 packets. How we can increase the productivity so that per day you can produce 120 packets. So how to improve the productivity, increase productivity. The next type of benefit is more motivated workforce. How we can motivate our employee to work better in a motivational manner. We have to give some motivation. This is another kind of benefit, more motivated workforce. Then internal management benefits. How can management our internal activities, internal day-to-day works or internal procedures, so that we can get maximum benefits. Then risk reduction. I have already told you every project is having some risks. How we can handle them, how we can reduce the effect of the risks so that the consequence will be less. That is also another benefit. Then economics, the financial aspects, the other benefits. Then revenue enhancement or acceleration. We are getting now this much revenue. How that revenue can be enhanced or how that can be accelerated, another kind of benefit. Then strategic fit. How we can make our system, how we can make the organization strategic fit. That is another kind of benefits. Some examples are given in your book. Please have a look into this. So these are the types of benefits that we have seen. Then finally we'll say quantifying benefits. How to quantify benefit? I have already told you there are some benefits you cannot measure, you cannot quantify them. For example, intangible benefits, you cannot quantify them. So that in this regard, the benefits can be divided into 3 types. Some of the benefits, they can be quantified and valued. For example, reduction of X staff saving $Y. You are initially having 100 staffs, you have reduced by 20. So how much you are saving in the salary? So reduction of X staff saving $Y. I have reduced to 20 staff, so I have saved 2 lakhs rupees per month or so. This benefit can be quantified and valued. Another kind of benefit which can be quantified but it cannot be valued. For example, decrease in customer complaints by X percentage. While you are doing manually, so you are getting every day a lot of complaints. But after doing it automated, people are able to give their complaints through email, through WhatsApp, through SMS, or etc. So what will happen? So the number of complaints will be less. So if the number of complaints will be less, indirectly you are getting some benefit. So here we are quantifying that these previous last month 100 what complaints are coming, this month only 80, so that 20% reduction. But due to this less number of complaints, how much benefit we have get, that cannot be valued. Please see, in the first case, we are reducing on 20 staff members. We are able to say that, okay, one staff was taking 10,000 rupees, 20 staff members will take what 2 lakhs rupees like this. We are able to find out the value that we have saved from the salary. It is both quantified and valued. But here we are last month we are getting 100 complaints, this month 80, so 20 we have 20% reduction. We have quantified the number of the reduction in the customer complaints, but we are not able to know how much value we have get in the benefit, because customer will be more satisfied, complaints are less, they will obviously attracted your farm and they will purchase more products from your company. But exactly what is the value of the benefit that you are getting, it cannot be valued. Another is benefits which are identified, they can be identified but not easily quantified. You can identify that this is a benefit, but cannot easily quantify how much benefit. For example, public approval for an organization in the locality where it is based. Now, I'm giving an example. Suppose Airtel wants to put up a their tower, telephone mobile tower inside the NIT campus. For that, they have to take approval from director, and after getting the approval, then what will happen when there is no Airtel tower? So the students will be afraid of keeping this Airtel SIMs, because the signal may not come. But once he has put a tower here, then people will be happy. Okay, now we can go for Airtel because our signal will be better and we can easily talk. So that when this Airtel company gets an public approval or the approval of the director for putting this tower inside NIT campus, then obviously it is a benefit to the Airtel farm. So the benefit is identified but not easily quantified. But due to this establishment of the tower, how many SIMs they have sold or they can sell, that cannot be quantified. So this is an example of a benefit which can be identified but not easily quantified. So for example, the public approval for an organization in the locality where it is based, here I had given the example of setting up a mobile tower by this Airtel company, where here the benefit is easily identified, but how many SIMs will be sold by establishing this new tower, that cannot be easily quantified. So these are the different classification of benefits based on this criteria. This is something about quantifying benefits. So let's see the summary. Today we have discussed about programs and the program management, difference between project and program, difference between project manager and program manager. We have also discussed about benefits, the different types of benefits, and the benefits management. These things we have discussed today. We have taken this thing from this reference one. You can see yourself. Thank you very much for your patientful hearing. Any questions, please? Don't have a question, then we can stop now.